Ahoy! Today I want to talk about a very special manga and anime series. One that people either love or they hate. And that series is My Hero Academia. I want to say more people love it than people who don't, but the question of today is, was My Hero Academia worth the hype? Or was it just another case of people bringing mediocrity up to a pedestal? Let's talk about it. Now, what made My Hero Academia stand out in the first place? What was it about this manga and anime series that made it skyrocket in popularity all over the globe? We have seen other shows explode in popularity as well, some even more than My Hero Academia. So by no means am I saying this case is one in a million. But Horikoshi decided to write a superhero manga. This changed the game completely. It's not really the first superhero manga, nor will it be the last, but it was the one that did it the best. And the timing of it was of course very important, because you have other superhero franchises that are also doing extremely well during the time when My Hero Academia starts to pick up. The MCU, the DC universe, and later we see Invincible and The Boys, for example. I'm not saying these are necessarily the reason My Hero Academia became popular in the first place, but they undoubtedly helped. By simply having superhero-related topics being popular searches, it found itself being part of that algorithmic ecosystem. You look up a superhero show, and the algorithm might think, oh, you might like this series as well. But the biggest reason why My Hero Academia was able to attract so many people that were otherwise not watching anime was the fact that Horikoshi knew he could reel in people from the West simply by it being a superhero show. Now, the art of the manga is of course nothing like what you'd see in Western comics. It still very much feels like a manga, which makes it a great cultural blend of Eastern and Western themes alike. It takes the booming themes of the Western comics, but applies a very classic shonen spin on it. You have the underdog protagonist, a lot of the usual shonen manga tropes and themes, so you get the best of both worlds in a way, and it just pulls in a lot of people. It didn't need to be the best. There was a great hook, a popular setting, and an interesting blend of characters. I think Horikoshi's art style really did the series wonders as well, because he has such a good sense of perspective and paneling structure, and he's damn good at designing his characters. He knows how to draw lighthearted scenes filled with joy and bliss, really engaging action sequences that keeps you interested without feeling confused about what's going on in each and every shot. Finally, he knows how to portray dark themes incredibly well, which we see in both My Hero Academia, but we also saw it in the recent one-shot. It just goes to show you that he has such great artistic range, and when range like that is applied to good storytelling, you can get something that becomes as popular as My Hero Academia. When it comes to the anime, at least to me, and I know some people will agree when I say this, but it's a mixed bag as far as the adaptation goes. Some seasons were phenomenal. Some people would view it better than the manga, but there came a time when all of that changed. Was it the greed of the anime industry perhaps? I'm not really too educated on the why, but they began making movies that were great looking. Sounds sweet, right? Wrong, because the main series took a major beating because of this, causing seasons that released alongside those movies to have a sudden drop in quality. Naturally, this made a lot of people upset, especially manga readers who had been looking forward to those events. But even if you only watched the anime, you'd notice how the quality suddenly became a violent roller coaster, going from animation heaven to borderline garbage. It truly was upsetting, but hey, at least the final season was looking real good, especially those Bakugo episodes. So in conclusion, was My Hero Academia worth the hype? I think so. Of course, people are going to have their own opinions on it, but to me, it was a really good story that kept me interested, and it made me really fond of Horikoshi as a manga artist. I have always leaned more into the manga of My Hero Academia, so the anime fall-off wasn't as bad to me as some other people, but it was still sad to see it happen, of course. That said, the manga was never affected the same way. Some arcs were of course not quite as strong. I especially found that the final final arc in My Hero Academia was pretty weak overall, which isn't too unusual for shonen manga. That tends to happen more often than one might think. Bottom line is, I think My Hero Academia did a great job at attracting people globally. Love it or hate it, but it performed extraordinarily well, and it will always be remembered as the superhero manga. With that said, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content like this, whether it's anime, manga, or video game related. I'm Frogheim, and I'll see you next time.